What's up, friends? Welcome in. It is time for the DLLS Cowboys pregame. We're going to get you ready for some football. Cowboys, Eagles, they're falling apart. You get to do the Leonidas 300. This is Sparta, and kick them down into the hole. And it goes down today. Let's get ready. Meow. What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the DLLS Cowboys pregame. It is a must-win for your Dallas Cowboys, but I am doing a little scoreboard pocket watching at the moment. Doing a little pocket watching on the scoreboard. The Lions are in trouble, it seems. Lions are having some trouble because Jameis Winston is on the Giants today, and Jameis is kind of giving them the business.
Jameis said, we outside, but we inside.
Yes. We outside, but we inside.
We outside, but we inside.
You know, my trainer always says, what did my trainer say? He said, you know.
Jameis is the best, man.
Cowboys, Eagles, we're going to get ready to go. Thanks for being with us. Please smash the like button on your way in the comments. I want to know which Cowboy is going to score the first touchdown. Sure would appreciate it if you would drop that in the chat right now. My name is Jeff. And I am next to former Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Want to give a shout out and a happy birthday to a good friend of, I would say a good friend of mine, but a good friend of our show.
Yeah.
And she follows all of your shows as well. Our good friend, I call her Shells. Shelby, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for always being a great supporter. You're a wonderful human being. I hope that your birthday is as amazing as you are. Happy birthday to Shells.
All right, in that same vein, I'm going to dedicate my performance on this pregame show to Snooki. It's Snooki's birthday today. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's a chick from MTV, right?
She did the one thing with the thing. Was that real? What was it, John? Was that Real World? What was Snooki on? Jersey Shore. That was the name of it. Yeah, it's all the same. Yeah. You got to watch out for Mike, the situation. You got to watch out for all those.
What was the other one with the chin?
I can't help you, dude.
Okay.
I don't remember.
No shit like that.
I don't know. So here are your inactives for today's game against the Philadelphia Eagles for your Dallas Cowboys. Jay Toya, that's okay. Solomon Thomas is back. Hakeem Adeniji, don't worry about that. Jaden Blue, we may need to talk about that at some point, but is it time to just chalk up that career? Like, whoops, just not going to work out for him. Perrion Winfrey still not going to play this week. And Jalen Tolbert is a healthy scratch, which means, sure, you got George Pickens. Sure, you got CeeDee Lamb, Turpin, Flanoy. But Jesse Holley, it's Jonathan Mingo season. He gonna play about 6 snaps.
And you know, this is I'll give Shotty this. Shotty has talked long about competition.
Yep.
And giving guys an opportunity. And while Jalen Tolbert has had the first run at it the entire season and in training camp, you know, I thought Jonathan Mingo kind of injured himself out of a position and out of an opportunity. And this is one of those shots where he's saying, all right, let's see what you got. Because like we haven't mentioned it, but the Cowboys released Kyer Elam. And I think kind of like that, you may be seeing a shift, possibly, that the Cowboys are kind of listening to Schottenheimer a little bit and saying, let's give these guys a shot, see what they look like, but we're no longer holding on to dead weight because you gave assets to them. Draft assets, right? Because you said, all right, you said bye-bye to Mozzie Smith. Yep. You said bye-bye to Kyer Elam. And now Jonathan Mingo, this could be his, all right, let's see what he has. But if he doesn't have it, this is another guy that we can possibly be moving on from to bring in some other opportunities for guys. So it's Mingo time. We'll see what he does with it.
Yeah, this is far from a headline of this game, so I apologize for the amount of time I've spent on it. But active and inactive is relevant, and I do think, just to take even more time on a very small story, I do think the fact that the plays that Jalen Tolbert plays, when they like motion him down into the box and he's blocking on a run play, at least Mingo's 205 pounds or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
We can stop all that and put somebody who's a little bigger in there while we're doing that. Let's check in with Clarence Hill. He is out at the stadium getting ready to watch the Cowboys absolutely put it on the Philadelphia Eagles. They're falling apart. We're going to help. Is that Ali Jawad doing a little just lurking behind Clarence? Hey, Clarence Hill, what's going on?
What's up, man? I'm loving today because this is like Jeff Agenda Day, okay? The Eagles are falling apart, and Jameis Winston is smoking. While you were talking, he just made some first down play. Like, Jameis is cooking. This is like Jeff Agenda Day, okay? It's all fitting right into the agenda. And what's so crazy, and it better be crazy. You remember this 3-game stretch that we thought was like, hellacious, no way Cowboys can survive this stretch. The Chiefs are getting beat. Detroit's getting beat. It doesn't look like it's such a big hill to climb anymore, especially if they get by this game and Jeff Agenda's it's true to form. They beat the Eagles. The Chiefs and the Lions don't look like such juggernauts anymore.
Oh, they don't, and I stand by. I misused the word. I used the word good, and I meant to use I should have used the word great, and everybody got a little mad at me. There is no great team in the NFL.
No.
Do you fear Daniel Jones' Colts? Like,
No.
I think the closest you can get is Stafford's Rams.
Yeah.
And okay, like that's a really nice team, but there is no juggernaut. So I'm looking for magic, Clarence. I'm gonna let myself live in this world today, where the beginning of magic happening is if the Cowboys win this game. Well, this Chiefs game isn't over. They got almost 6 minutes left. But if it ends the way it is now, with the Chiefs losing to the Colts, at the end of this day, the Cowboys would have a better record than the Kansas City Chiefs. There's weird. It's a wonky league. It's a wonky league. Let's get the magic going, chill.
But you know, and that's one thing that we were talking about earlier in the season. I said that earlier in the season, which is why the Carolina loss and the Arizona loss are such still gut punches, because it was always been there. It's always been the case. We talked about the earlier in the season. There are no juggernauts. There are no big bad wolves anymore. It's as wide open as a season as any we've seen in the past. And this was the opportunity for the Cowboys to really take advantage if they could have got those wins. But because it's this type of wonky season, they're still in it if they can get themselves together. You know, that one game at a time, but you take care of your business and you look up, hey, Jerry can dream. A couple of things on today. They are honoring Marshall Nealon's family. They're here. They're honoring Marshall Nealon's family. So certainly they're still honoring Marshall Nealon. They're going to do, obviously, the moment of silence before the game, but Marshall Nealon's family is here. So that's something that we're still dealing with coming into this week. Pickens, Lamb did not miss curfew last night. Of course, they slept in their own beds because you know what? They get to stay at home. You know, when at home, right? And Pickens didn't, you know, he was here on time. So he's out on the practice field or pre-game warmer. So no issues there. One thing that we all dropped the ball on, us media people, I think they were fined by the team. You know, Jesse, you know that. You miss the bus, you miss curfew. That's automatic fine, right? And I know Pickens was fined by the league for that celebration, but they had to be fined by the team as well.
And there is no bus. Is there a bus to miss at a home game, or do you just come by yourself?
Yes. There's a bus because some of the rookies have to stay in the team hotel. Only the veterans get to stay at home. The rookies have to stay.
You do have to be at the game at a certain time. You have to be. You have to be in the arena.
But there's no bus that Pickens could have missed.
No. You get to drive from home.
No,
there is a timeline. He has to get there.
But the young players do have a bus. And talking to one of the Philly writers before the game, trying to get a little intel, they think that Quinyon Mitchell may be following Pickens today. No. Quinyon Mitchell will be following CD today, and when he goes in the slot, it will be white chocolate.
Oh, yes.
And Adoree Jackson barbecue chicken may be on Pickens.
Oh, we're going to pick today.
Get the ball to Pickens because Adoree Jackson is barbecue chicken.
It's one of those days where I think I got to tell CeeDee Lamb, hey, you know you're my guy, right? But I heard what they're going to try to do. You are now playing outside every single snap because that is going to keep Quinyon Mitchell on you, and Adoree Jackson's going to stay on him. And we are throwing the ball to George 70 times today. I'll take care of you next week.
Yeah.
Okay? I'll pay you under the table to be cool with this. We are going to tear that little dude up. He is the mark. We're playing Find the Scrub here.
Yeah, whoever Dory Jackson's on, feed him because he is a mark, and that's an old school term, mark. I went to the Margarita Ball last night. You guys got to go to the Margarita Ball. It's a big fundraiser in Dallas. You can dress up, tuxedo, toys for kids. Some guy walked up to me, said, "I watch you guys on DLLS. I love you guys, love you guys." And why is that guy always messing with you on Twitter? I remember when you called some guy a mark on Twitter. They didn't know what a mark was, but I know what a mark was. He's a mark.
Okay, we appreciate you. And I was at that thing in spirit this weekend. I had multiple margaritas, so kind of the same thing. Clarence, have a great day, and we will talk to you. What day of the week is this? This is Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow. There we go. That's Clarence Hill and Ali in the background, both of them hanging out, getting us ready for this game as the Dallas Cowboys are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles here in about 30 minutes. This is the pregame. Make sure that you're here for the postgame. And, no Jaden Blue again, which means that I would imagine the Elam release was to bring up Malik Davis to the permanent roster.
Correct.
Because if he's getting called up again, do I just need to write off my guy, you think? You think 2/3 of the way through a rookie season, a running back that I was excited about the tape on him, it just seems like, it's just he's not going to have the professionalism.
Not to go full Clarence, but I told you guys this in the preseason.
Yes, mister.
About a guy. We put a lot of pressure and expectation on a 5th-round pick that he was going to come in here and to learn to earn himself a spot on this roster. And it's a lot more in the NFL than it is in college. Like, you weren't the guy in college. You were a role player in college. And so to come into the league and not truly have, the full understanding of blitz pickups and understanding all of your plays. And then, of course, if you're not the guy, you need to play a special team. And that's something that a lot of young players don't realize when you come into the league, that how you get a game day jersey every week, it's not because you ran really well in the preseason. If you're still the second and third back, you need to be a guy who plays core special teams, 3 out of the 4 special teams. And he hadn't quite figured all that out and learning how to be a professional. And so, I don't think you give up on him just yet. I think this is that year he learns how to be a professional. And hopefully by the end of this year into next year, he'll have a better understanding of what it will take to go out there and to be a professional.
Scoreboard pocket watching across the league right now. The Green Bay Packers didn't do you any favors today. They beat the Vikings 23-6. They're not helping us out with draft picks. They're going to try to be a postseason team, bunch of jerks. The Detroit Lions were trying to do us a favor, but Jameis may not pull it off. Giants are still up on the Lions 27-24, which would send the Lions to 6-5 if they lose this game. But Detroit has the ball somewhere around their own 10-yard line with about 3 minutes left down 3. Okay, that one could fall apart on us. The Chiefs, not relevant to you making the postseason, but they are the Chiefs, and they're 5-5. They're playing the Indianapolis Colts, and they are down by 3. And the Chiefs have the ball at midfield with about 4 minutes to go, down by 3 against the Colts. And that is your scoreboard watching, standings watching, playoff watching, pocket watching across the league.
A couple things to look forward to today. Dak Prescott, he's 160 passing yards away from passing Tony Romo for the most yards in team history. George Pickens 92 yards away from hitting 1,000 for this season, 6 receptions away from setting his new career high for George Pickens. Javonte Williams needs 98 yards to reach 1,000 yards from scrimmage this season. CeeDee Lamb is 104 yards away from hitting 7,000 yards in a career. So
let's hit all of those. If we hit all of those, we'll be in good shape.
We'll be in really good shape.
And I think we could just go ahead and hit all of those. Okay, so we've got your pregame show for you. We've got a feature of a man on a board coming up to help you get ready for the Dallas Cowboys and how they look against Vic Fangio and his defense. That's coming up for you. We got some players to watch, and we got more previewing to do right here on the DLLS Cowboys pregame. First, I do want to tell you about our friends at Prize Picks, who I do love very much, or I guess I could do this the other way around. But I'm going to tell you to be a diehard first, okay? I'm just telling you. Sign up to be a diehard. I want you to do that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give you a wink, wink. You can sign up to be a diehard today, and we sure would appreciate it. But if you waited a day, you might want to hear what's going on tomorrow. So that's an interesting way of trying to sell something when I tell you, you might just want to wait a hot second, okay? So, but when you do sign up to be a diehard, You get all sorts of things, all sorts of perks from us. You get an ad-free experience on the website, access to everything that is on alldlls.com. Your one-stop shop for all of your DFW sports needs, beat writers for every team, premium content, that's all on there. You get into our Discord where we have a great time. Been talking to people about some books, The Will of the Many, currently got that one started. Almost done with the Dungeon Crawler Carls. Lots of stuff going on in our Discord. You pick a free t-shirt when you sign up, all that stuff, discounts on merch and events. But I do also want to shout out our friends at Prize Picks, and they are playing the Eagles, and I'm going to do some straight hating when you see my Prize Picks for this game, because the Eagles are falling apart, and it's important to factor that in when you're playing Prize Picks. Prize Picks is absolutely the best. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right, and it's fun, it's simple, it's easy, it makes things more exciting. You just pick, do I think that this player is going to have more or less than this stat in this game? And you can do it for the NFL, you can do it for the NBA, you can do it for the NHL, you can do it for the WNBA, you can do it for Major League Baseball. You can combine across sports, whatever picks you want to make. And the more picks that you make, the more you win if you get them things right, like I always do sometimes. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code DLLS. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code DLLS. Get you $50 in lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. It's the DLLS Cowboys pregame, and we do have our Prize Picks presented by Prize Picks with Prize Picks. Jalen Hurts, less than 1.5 passing touchdowns, I say. Jalen Hurts, less than 213.5 passing yards, I say. Jalen Hurts, more than 2.5 sacks taken. Now, I did have to pick one more thing, because you have to pick things from two teams in order to submit your picks. But I did do all three of those Jalen Hurts ones. Ali, A.J. Brown, less than 7 targets. Dak, more than 248.5 pass yards. Pickens, longest catch, more than 24.5 yards. And producer John, who's still on a heater, I think. Dak's longest run, more than 6.5 yards. CeeDee more than 3.5 quarters with 1+ reception, and Saquon more than 1.5 receptions. That's your pregame picks, courtesy of Prize Picks. Now we go to a man on a board to take a look. The Cowboys will be seeing a defensive coordinator that has seen them a lot, and some of the things that they like to do and what the Cowboys can do about it. Here's Jesse Holley.
Appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you, brother. All right, so the Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles today at home, and they're going up against one of their arch nemesis. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles, but the defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. Now, this is the same guy who was in Denver, and he kind of said that, we got the blueprint for the Dallas Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott. And if we're being honest, Dak has had some trouble against Vic Fangio's defense. And one of the defenses that Vic Fangio likes to run is what we call match quarters, right? So we understand what the quarter concept is. If you're talking about quarters, just think of it mathematically. You have the entire field, and now your field is broken down into 4 quarters of the field. And each one of these individuals are responsible for a quarter of the field. But in the match quarters now, it almost feels like it's a man-to-man. And that's where the confusion sometimes can come into play, because it's going to look like a too-high shell defense. But what's going to happen is you're going to see more of a man kind of trailing concept in this match quarters, and you have to figure out where to defeat it. Now, here's where the problem comes in with most teams trying to defeat this match quarters of the Philadelphia Eagles, is because you have to have a little bit of time to figure out, are they in too high, are they in regular quarters, or are they in match quarters? But it's these guys up front that give you hell in this look, because these guys can get after your quarterback with just rushing their front 4. And unlike the first game of the season, the Cowboys will now have to face Jalen Carter. You see that Jordan Davis is playing well, the acquisition of Phillips from Miami. So these guys up front, Oruwariye Mojo, he's playing well. These guys up front make it very difficult because they're able to get after your quarterback. But yes, you can beat match quarters. Coach JB, I know you think you can't beat quarters over the top, but you absolutely can beat quarters over the top. And so here's some of the way that it'll happen, because now what you have to understand is that this DB is going to cover this Z in match quarters like man-to-man all the way up this quarter. This safety will have this tight end or this wide receiver. Now, this safety right here, he's going to go to where you talk about number 2 in the lineup. This is 1, this is 2 from a wide receiver perspective. So He's going to carry number 2 vertical. Even though that there is a nickel back right here, this safety still going to carry number 2 vertical because that's the concept of 2 match. And then you have this DB on the backside carrying this guy on the match. Now, one of the things that the Cowboys can do to help themselves is one, if you go back and watch the first game, they use a lot of Kevontae Turpin in that matchup. Now, things have changed. Players have evolved. George Pickens had 38 yards that game. I doubt that he has that this game, and probably a whole bunch more. But here's how you would use a player like Kevontae Turpin in this to help you beat it over the top. Let's just say this is Kevontae Turpin and this is George Pickens. What I'm going to use Kevontae Turpin for is when he gets on the field, everybody automatically thinks speed, speed, speed. So what ends up happening is I'm going to use Kevontae Turpin. When he comes off, he's just going to do this. He's going to be vertical, run number 2 vertical, and then turn around, right? He's going to turn around and sit right there. I'm going to have this backside tight end because, again, remember, this safety has to carry number 2 vertical in this defense. So on this side, I'm going to have this tight end come up, run in. That's now going to attract that safety here. That's going to attract this guy here. Now, with the Z, you can do multiple things right here with the Z. You can run him on a shallow cross if you like to give you an alternative. You can run him on a go route if you like to give yourself an alternative. But where we're going to look to beat this is on the backside. So now when I use this speed, at the same time, we're going to put this safety in a bind because when he releases with speed, I'm going to have George Pickens release inside or outside with speed. And so now they're going up the field at the same time. And this guy has to make a decision. Is he going to do his responsibilities and carry number 2 vertical? If that's the case, perfectly, then we're going to have George Pickens here, give a little hint right there. And he's going to run this big post on the backside because that safety now has to eat up on that speed at number 2 that he has to respect coming at him because he has to carry number 2. And I like my chances with George Pickens, and whether that's on Adoree Jackson. Right now, they're saying that it might be Adoree Jackson because Quinyon Mitchell will be following CeeDee Lamb. So if that's the case, then we need to find the matchup of where Adoree Jackson has to battle with George Pickens. And I get it. Hey, CeeDee, you might be upset this game, but if they're going to put Quinyon on you, then you have to attack this DB in Adoree Jackson. And I like my chances with George Pickens having to deal with anybody outside on any route with his size and his catching ability. Now, the thing that's most important is you got to protect inside because this is going to be an angry Jalen Carter and an angry Jordan Davis. So Dak is probably going to have to find some sort of way to either roll out to keep himself. This is going to have to come up and block here. But these guys are going to be coming and trying to get after the quarterback. If the Cowboys can protect up front against this Vic Fangio match quarters and Dak has the protection, I like this play all day long with George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb or whoever it may be running these deep routes on match coverage. So that's what they want to do defensively with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys can get off on this. They had an opportunity game 1, a lot of drops from CeeDee Lamb. We'll see if that persists this game, and now you can have those catches being made, whether it's from CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens, and the Cowboys be able to get a victory going up against match quarters of the Vic Fangio's Philadelphia Eagles defense. Back to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jesse. That is a man on a board putting in mad work for you. And, 60-yard touchdown to George Pickens would do a lot in terms of helping the Philadelphia Eagles finish falling apart, which they are trying to do. It's up to the Cowboys to let them do it. So the Cowboys are coming into this game pretty darn healthy. You will get game number 2 out of Savone Revel, game number 2 out of DeMarvion Overshown. Those things are big. And then I have some of the things that happened the first time that these teams met that I want to ask you about, Jesse Holley. It was an interesting game. Let me see if I remember this correctly. Both offenses were unstoppable and amazing. And then they had a weather delay, and then both offenses did absolutely nothing for the rest of the game. But by the end of it, Saquon Barkley had averaged 3.3 yards per carry against the Cowboys the first time around. Can they do that to him again?
I think they can, especially when you're talking about the losses that they have now on the offensive line. One of the things that the Philadelphia has been doing a lot more of is They're bringing in an extra offensive lineman. Now, I don't know if they'll do that again this game simply because you're already down an offensive lineman in Lane Johnson. But they use a lot of the 6 offensive linemen. They use a lot of 2 tight end personnel because they're trying to block it up as best they can to find running room for Saquon Barkley. But teams have just said to themselves, well, you know what? If you're not going to threaten us down the field with the passing game, we're going to just have more guys at the box. Yeah. We're not going to let you get the running game going. So teams have committed to putting more guys in the box to stop Saquon Barkley because the Philadelphia Eagles haven't shown the propensity to take the ball and matriculate it down the field over the top.
Yeah, quarterback's not very good.
He's you know, and so therefore that's been the recipe for success in maintaining Saquon Barkley.
I also would like to apologize. People may not know this, but the blackboard is on the other side of the building. So when Jesse goes from here to blackboard, then does 5 minutes of broadcast by himself, essentially, then has to run back across the building back to his chair, and then I start asking him questions. I know it's tough, and so I just wanted to apologize.
No,
listen, I know your wind. I know your wind might be struggling.
I'm professional, baby. I'm professional, baby.
We keep pocket watching around the league. The Chiefs have the ball in the Indianapolis 3. They're down by 3 with a minute left to go in that game. The Giants and Lions are now tied. And there's 23 seconds left in the fourth. The Giants have the ball on their own 32-yard line. In this game, in round 1, George Pickens had 3 catches for 30 yards.
Yes.
Is there any chance that he has that small of an impact again?
No. I think week 1, it was George Pickens and Dak Prescott feeling each other out, understanding, like trying to figure out, what are you? How can I, use you in this game plan? What are your skill sets in a real live action? So I think they've come a long way, and Dak has realized now that George Pickens is more than just an added piece to this, that he can definitely be a playmaker for him. So I highly doubt that you're going to see 3 for 38 in this game. If that happens, we probably won't like the outcome of this game if George Pickens is 3 for 38.
The first time these teams met, unless I'm drunk reading the box score, Dak Prescott was not sacked in the entirety of that game. Is there any chance the Cowboys can pull off that feat again?
That one's going to be a little bit more difficult simply because they've added, barring any pregame.
We can do that one first.
Okay.
Last time these teams met, it looks like Jalen Carter spit on Dak and didn't get to play. Is there any chance that happens again?
Listen,
He got a little crazy in him.
Probably not.
Pickens could bait him. That's crazy.
Probably not. But I don't put anything past those crazy defensive linemen. But I'm thinking he'll be a little bit more muzzled in the pregame this time around.
Okay, and then so then the ability to not give up a sack for the Dallas Cowboys becomes a little more challenging. Jalen Phillips.
Yeah, it does because you add Jalen Phillips and then, of course, you add Jalen Carter to the mix. That is, Jalen Phillips, honestly, like over the last couple of weeks, he's had like 13 pressures and, a couple quarterback hits. He's getting after it as well. But, if I would be remiss if I sat here and said just how much a defensive lineman like Quinnen Williams has come in and helped this defense and not believe that a defensive lineman like Jalen Carter and all that he brings won't help the Philadelphia Eagles defense. So it's going to be an uphill battle, but I think you can keep Dak clean for the most part, and Dak has done and has continued to do a wonderful job of moving in the pocket, really understanding his pocket presence has been really good, understanding where he can move to and deliver the ball. And so I hope that still is a part of the game plan for the Cowboys today.
The last time these teams met, Jahan Dotson was the leading receiver for Philadelphia. He had 59 yards. Dallas Goedert had 40-something. Devontae Smith, 3 for 16. A.J. Brown, 1 for 8. Can the Cowboys shut down those two receivers again?
Is Jahan Dotson still on their team?
I think so.
I don't know if he's still on
I think so, maybe. Let me double check. He's still there.
He's still on it. Yeah, Mechie. Okay, they got rid of Mechie. I guess because like
that's my answer too.
When you could. Yeah. When you watch this Philadelphia Eagles offense, it takes me back to a time of the Jason Garrett level offense. Their route concepts are very simple, are very, very elementary. They're talking about slants, curls, goals, and comebacks. Like, that's a lot of what they run. And if Jalen Hurts doesn't get to the first read in this process, he's either looking to tuck it and run. Now, I will say the one thing that I want to be cautious of and have a little bit of a sharp eye and a wonk eye.
Put a wonk eye on it.
The flats. the Cowboys have been very, very susceptible in the flats, giving up 45 yards to running backs in the flats this year. And when everything breaks down, the Cowboys are getting back to running a lot of their zone stuff.
Overshown.
Those flats are susceptible, and getting the ball to Saquon in the flats, you're not going to get what you got last week against Ashton Genty, where he just like, you know what, I'm not even going to do this. Saquon's going to try to make a play. So covering the flats will be key for the Cowboys, especially on third downs when that pocket breaks down on Jalen Hurts.
Hit the like button on your way out of the pregame show here. We'll be back for the postgame, so make sure you're following the DLLS Sports YouTube channel. Hit the like button. By the way, our things do go in audio format as well, wherever you listen to things. For Jesse Holly, I'm Jeff Kavanaugh. We're going to go enjoy watching Philadelphia fall apart. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.